What's the biggest mistake real estate agents make before a listing appointment? They show up ready to talk pricing without really knowing the house or the people living in it. They run the comps, they walk in cold, and they're not prepared to really emotionally connect and earn trust with their potential clients. They're just thinking numbers. I'm going to run through a step-by-step prep process that gets you as prepared as possible for that appointment so you can win trust and close more listings. And by the way, all of the resources I'm going over today are inside of our Skool community. What's up, guys? I'm Elise Palacios, and I help real estate agents and team leaders get from production to legacy. It's my goal with every video to give you at least one actionable step to put into your business today to help you reach your income goals. If you're looking for trainings, templates, and a coaching community that's going to help you earn more listings with less guesswork, head on over to our Skool community and search for REinvest Real Estate. Inside, you'll find our full listing presentation course, and also for free for all members, a mock listing presentation and a mock house tour, which I'll go over in just a little bit. Step 1, gather information from the seller through a pre-listing survey. And that's going to get you a lot more information about the house and the sellers themselves. It'll uncover what they updated and when, what their timeline and motivation for selling really is, if they're interviewing other agents, how they prefer to communicate, and what type of agent experience are they expecting, and what do they like about agent experiences in the past or dislike. You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to be much more prepared when you sit down for your appointment to handle potential objections if you know of a possible pain point from their past experiences. Step 2, schedule a 15-minute or so home tour before the listing appointment. This is not your sit-down meeting, and we run through a step-by-step training inside of our Skool community about how to go about this tour to make it be an effective time for both you and your potential sellers. This is the time to connect emotionally. Your seller's going to share memories, or perhaps you can bring something up that they've already shared with you while touring the home, maybe about a holiday that they've posted there, or they're having a hard time moving farther away from their grandchildren down south. Be there, listen to them, and this is also a wonderful opportunity for them to tell you what is important to them. Yes, you will of course lead the appointment, but it's a fine line between leading the appointment and also letting your sellers feel seen and heard. Stay present. You'll find that they're going to point out possible renovations they've done themselves or an area of the home they have a lot of pride in, and it's your job to acknowledge, listen, and learn. And this is also, in reality, going to give you some great insight into the home for when you're completing your CMA. Let's be real, not all homes are as a seller might describe them. Some are extremely meticulous, and some have a horrible cat odor as soon as you walk into the door that hits you in the face. And those are things you're not really going to be able to find out over the phone on its own. And those things will absolutely affect your strategy and pricing. And it's much better and easier to figure this out before you're sitting face-to-face with a seller talking pricing. A pro tip for your home tour is to take photos and notes. Of course, ask your potential seller's permission, but it makes your CMA process so much easier if you have a couple photos to reference back to. And it shows the seller you're taking the time to do a really thorough job. Are you really going to remember in the middle of your hectic week when you sit down in a few days to do the CMA if the windows were updated, or if the cabinets were new, or if that second bath in the basement was fully remodeled or not? This will save you so much time, and it'll make sure that your CMAs are as accurate as possible. Step 3, organize suggestions using a must, should, could list. This will conversationally naturally come up during your home tour. There are going to be some things that your seller could do to maximize their price and marketing strategy that could be easier and also might keep a deal together if it's tackled upfront rather than in the middle of a transaction with a nervous buyer. It's exactly what it sounds like. The must items are high priority safety issues or major repairs that could turn a potential buyer away. Your should items are your high impact, easy upgrades, like painting, decluttering, curb appeal through gardening, and staging, if possible. The could part of this list is not always going to be relevant for a particular seller. It's going to be items like swapping out furnishings or redoing a worn out floor, the things that aren't really going to make a buyer choose or not choose to buy that home, but it could definitely help your marketing strategy and price point. Again, use your judgment. This is not going to be applicable for every seller. And do not overwhelm your potential client by making this sound like you've got a laundry list of really expensive, stressful items that they're going to have to tackle if they list with you. Let the seller know, if this makes sense for you, this is what I'd focus on. But if not, that's totally okay, and we can position the home accordingly. You should be working on this list mentally and through your notes while completing your home tour, and it should be finalized and completed and shared at your actual listing appointment. Again, at your home tour is not the time to overwhelm a potential seller with a list of things to do. As you're walking through, you could point out items, or your seller will likely say things like, oh, I've been meaning to paint that wall, or I know the water heater is really old. We were honestly going to replace it in a couple weeks anyways. Take notes of what they're already suggesting that they should do, so you can categorize that on your must, should, could list before you meet again. Step 4, use those home tour details to build a strong CMA. You're going to be sitting down and building a pricing strategy based on what you saw, heard, and smelled during your home tour. So it's going to be far more accurate than if you had just used the listing photos from 10 years ago or simply gone off the tax records available online. If you don't know how to complete an accurate CMA, definitely head on over to our Skool community. We have full trainings on the detailed process similar to what an appraiser does to find really accurate market value for homes. It's not just about searching for recently sold homes that are in similar areas and rough level of condition. There's a lot more that goes into making accurate adjustments to really narrow down particular pricing for a property. Now that you've got a great understanding of the home's condition, it's time to get prepared to actually sit down for your listing presentation. Inside of our Skool community and our listing mastery course, we show you how to pair your CMA with a prep checklist and seller net sheet as you prepare for your listing appointment. Now, all of these things all together is what's going to make your time as impactful as possible when you're sitting down in front of a potential seller, so you're walking away from the appointment with a signed listing agreement. Now that you've seen the home and built rapport, it's time to plan out how the process is actually going to go if that potential seller decides to move forward and work with you. The target dates worksheet is going to help you map out when photos are happening, when possible prep like painting or staging occurs, and also how quickly you're going to be getting to your coming soon and go live date. Get this all prepared along with your CMA, seller net sheet, and other resources that we go over inside of our listing mastery course, so that when you sit down with the seller, you're almost assuming the close that you're going to be working with them in the future. If you're that prepared, they're going to have a lot of confidence in your ability to get them to the closing table. Bonus tip, during your home tour, you could share your contractor list if it makes sense to. If your seller's talking about projects like painting or decluttering or staging, it might make sense to send over your preferred contractor list beforehand and let them know that, hey, if you want to get a jump on getting quotes or making sure that a contractor can meet our timeline that we've discussed, before we sit down to crunch numbers, go for it. If they're able to get on the phone with one of your trusted contractors who's naturally going to talk up how they're in such great hands working with you, before your appointment, you might have another opportunity to help build rapport and trust with your potential client. Remind them that this is not a direction to complete their entire to-do list. It's mostly if they name 1 or 2 things that you likely would have recommended anyways, or they've mentioned that they have a real concern that the electrical panel might be a safety issue. You're not able to give exact guidance on that, so it's best in most scenarios to have somebody get in touch with them sooner rather than later. If you're in a scenario where a seller is unable financially or physically to get any work completed, do not go down this path, because if you start opening cans of worms, you now have to disclose all of those worms on your property disclosures. If you know that your seller's not going to be able to tackle projects, this is not the time to share your trusted contractor list. If you don't have a preferred contractor list yet, we have a full training and script inside of our Skool community to help you build that and use it to earn clients and build rapport for current, future, and past clients. When you confidently offer this resource, you're now becoming the go-to agent who solves problems before they even come up. The best listing appointments don't come from shooting a price from the hip over the phone before you even met a potential client. They come after complete, full preparation, so you're confident and well prepared for your meeting. If you want access to all of the resources that I've mentioned, like the mock home tour, pre-listing survey, must, should, could list, target date worksheet, a full mock listing presentation, and more, like a customizable Canva listing presentation template, and more that I couldn't even say that would fit inside of this video, head on over to our Skool community, check out our listing mastery course, and of course we have a ton of free resources that are going to help you sign more listings and reach your income goals for this year. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. We post new real estate content weekly.